Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved here on the Adria Evolved server. Thank you for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Today I want to do a little bit of a different episode. I'm a bit sick of being in the base over there, so I thought I'd come across to Viking Bay, and I thought today I'd give you a tour around the island, the Ragnarok map, and I'd show you a few of my favourite places on the map. A few of the places where if I had chosen differently at the start of the game, I may have built my base there and kind of give you a little bit of a tour around. If you haven't played this map before, this will give you a decent idea of kind of the scale of this map compared to the other maps, the island and the centre and Scorched Earth, and some of the kind of more interesting features along the way. We've had a lot of building and a lot of taming and stuff recently, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. What I am going to do though is, as we're going around, I am looking for a decent high level male Ankylosaurus with some decent stats. So if we do see any Ankylosauruses around, or Doedicurus's as well, looking for those, then I will check those out. And if we do see a decent one, I'll take it back to base and quickly tame it up so that we can get on with the tour. Anyway, I'm over here at Vikings Banks. This is the first part that a lot of people will spawn in at. And this is known as kind of the recommended area to start, and I can see why. It is a beautiful place. And up the front of the bay there, by the two little kind of natural broken bridge there, and across this area, it is fairly safe, especially over here. It is relatively safe. However, as you go down towards the end of it, it gets absolutely deadly. Alpha Rexes spawn around here after day 400, after Alpha Raptors spawn around here, I think after day 100 or 200, something like that. And you get Rexes and all sorts falling down from the cliffs above here. Yeah, the back of this is really nasty, and I've even seen 145 and 150 Rexes on the beach just down here as well. And this is one of the starting zone areas just here and on that side over there. So yeah, I think the devs like to have a bit of a laugh every so often, and this is definitely one of them, where this is the recommended starting zone for the Ragnarok map. I kind of get why it is one of the kind of more feature filled areas. It's within the trailer for the map itself, and it's kind of a beautiful area as well. It's very, very well landscaped. It's also the hub of a fair few different biomes within this, because you have the underwater biome here, you have a cave right in the centre, just down by this, you can see just by my head there's a wall which is lying on the floor on top of that rock, and just down underneath the water there is a way into the cave system under the water. There's a fair few people built up around here. We have Nin, who is up by us up in the Highlands, has also built a base around here within this little cove area here, and Bait has built his base up over kind of on that quarter of the beach over there, just kind of where I'm indicating there. On this side no one's really done much, but the Order of Fenris are up in the Abbey just on the hill there, so you do get a nice view of the Abbey from here as well. What else do we have? We have the kind of the barren cliffs up here. We have a lovely terraced area up here. If I fly up, you'll be able to see this kind of terraced plains area here leading into the kind of wastelands or the dust bowl here. And above that we have the ice biome. And I think the ice biome is one of the first places we're going to go today. I'm going to see if in the ice cave anybody has taken the drops within the last hour or so, and whether they are still spawned in. And so I think I may have, no I don't, I'm afraid I don't have my GPS with me. So I won't be able to tell you the exact coordinates, but I will open the map so you can see the coordinates on the map. And I'm just going to land and get some stamina as well, because I'm going to need some stamina. Actually no, right, I'm right here. So this is the hole in here into the ice cave. So if I pull up the map here, you'll be able to see exactly where we are. So it's around what, 32, 38, something along there. 32, 36, maybe 34, 36, somewhere around there. And anyway, you come up the side of this mountain from Vikings Bay, and you will see this hole in the side of the mountain here. If you fly down into this hole, you can even do this on a wyvern. You can even do this on the back of a Quetzal with a base on the back of it, and you can come down into this big open cavernous area here. You can't actually build within this cavern at all. You can see we have little dire wolves here, sorry, dire bears on the side, and these can get up to level, I think, 500, somewhere around there. But also you get these drops here, and these are yellow drops. These are kind of the low level ones within the ice cave. These dire bears won't aggro unless you get too close to them. So what do we have here? A blueprint for an apprentice shotgun, and a blueprint for a journeyman Pachyrhinoceros saddle. Neither of which are amazingly useful. Anyway, that is the first of the drops there. If we fly down over this way, now we've got our stamina back. There should be one over here. And this is a blue one, so this is a tier 1 cave drop. But all these are classed as cave drops, so they are better than the ones you can get outside anyway. So in here we have, I'm going to drop that, and an apprentice Procoptodon saddle. I'll grab that, why not? We may get a kangaroo one day. The third one is over here, and I can already see it's a yellow one by the glow. So we'll land just here. This guy may end up aggroing. He's the only one up here, so I'm going to chance actually killing him. To 180. A fairly low level one for here. Now that bear there hasn't aggroed, so that's good. Nothing else around here is aggroed. Excellent. Go in, grab these. Journeyman shotgun, 150%, not amazing, and cloth shirt, I'll get rid of that, I'll throw that away. So where are the others? There is one down just below us here, which is another yellow one, which is nice. This is a tier 2 cave drop. So we can grab this. Ooh, Mastercraft shotgun. I think they're trying to tell us something with all these shotguns. And an apprentice, that's 163. It's not as good as the Mastercraft one that we've got, which is 183. And let's see if we can see any more. We've got that one. We've got the one up there. I think there's supposed to be another one around somewhere. Oh, I think it's at the back here. Is it? Yes, it's here. And it's a blue. So only a tier 1. Come on, let me get up. Thank you. Ramshackle Manta Saddle. I don't think I've got any Manta Saddles, so I am going to take that. And Journeyman Procoptodon Saddle as well. So not amazing loot in that, but we got some at least. It's always good to come in here and get them when you can. Especially if you're on a server where there's multiple people. These should spawn in every kind of hour, hour and a half or so. And you can get some decent stuff in there. So let's head on out, and there are some really nice areas around here actually. A little bit of lag as we head back out into the sky. Just above here, this little lake here, I did have an idea originally when I saw this area about creating a big tower on the edge of this little plateau here by the lake. I'd love to be able to build in the ice biome, in one of the ice biomes in Ark, especially on this map because they are so beautiful. There's also usually a few Allosauruses around here. There's a Dodic there, let's have a look at that. But I think this area is really nice. So 140 with decent weight actually. 26 weight. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab this guy and take him back and tame him. And yeah, I will meet you back up here because I need to get him away from those Allosauruses. This is one of those times you can't really wait till later. So yeah, I will head back home, tame this guy up, and we'll see what he comes out as. See you in a minute. Well, she's actually turned out to be a fairly mediocre tame. If we have a look at the one we've already got, F1 here, 30 in health, 43 in damage, 34 in weight. They're the ones we're mainly interested in. And we know that the male has high stamina as well. And this one we just tamed up, 25, 31, 33, 32. So better stamina than the female we've got, but everything else is actually fairly naff, to be honest. Yeah, fairly mediocre. So yeah, that was a bit of a waste of a tame. Anyway, we'll head back over to Vikings Bay and we'll continue our conversation over there. So we're back at the top of this mountaintop here, and you can see there's a fair amount of decent resources around. It is a fairly deadly area. You've got raptor packs here and obscene alpha raptors around here as well. You've got tyrannosauruses that spawn here, and quite large packs of dire wolves as well that I've seen around somewhere. But you've also got some of the nicer dinosaurs around. You saw a Dodic before. I've just got an Ankylosaurus from here as well. You got mammoths here for the trees, for the wood, and the dire wolves make really, there they are. Oh, it's hyenodons actually, there you go. It's a really high level hyenodon there. 145 with 29 in speed. Hello, never mind. And then at the back here you've got the ice bear cave. So you've got polar bear cave there, you've got Argentavis that spawn in, and you've got decent access as well down to the Vikings Bay down here, all the way down there. But also you've got a waterfall at the front over here. It takes you right the way down to kind of, I suppose, ground level into a nice lake, and that is actually where one of the artifacts spawns in down there. And so this is another place I saw which would have been a really nice place for a base, trying to build up this little lake. What I'm not too sure of though is whether this would kind of affect the artifact spawn. Well, I mean, it really is raining now. To build on here, would it actually affect the artifact spawn now? I have seen a couple of playthroughs, let's plays, where people have built there. It would be interesting to find out if it does affect the artifact spawn. Anyway, let's move on to the next place where I was thinking about building a base. So the next place I wanted to show you was right underneath the green obelisk here. I think this is a really nice big flat area which would be really nice for a PVE build. Big kind of sprawling village, similar to as we're doing in the Highlands. But you've got water access really close here. You've got the new beaver spawns just down the hill over there. Now the important thing to realise over here is a giga spawn has just been put in over here in the last update, in the 2.7.2 update. So this has become a bit more of a deadly area than it used to be. However, there's some decent resources around here, including honey, and there's some big dinosaurs as well for prime meat, and there's some, I think, around here. You get stegos, you get pachyrhinoceroses, you get pachycephalosaurus as well. And you get a few decent dinosaurs and creatures around here. You can see that Amber Lee has, oh, this is the griffin trap I've shown you before, but Amber Lee has built up a base over here, which has got much bigger since last time I saw it. So that is her base there, building with the castles, keeps and forts mod, which I've done as well. I think most people on the server have swapped over to that now, or at least starting to rebuild in that. But yeah, this area I love, this big sprawling field here, and I think this would look really good with a big base on it. Now just over the way from the green obelisk, which is behind us there, in that field there you can see, is this beautiful beach. This is probably one of my favourite places on the whole of the Ragnarok map. This beach is absolutely incredible, and I went quite early on in this on this map, when I was about level 30, level 40. I took a raft all the way around the coast to here and saw all of this and decided to actually move down south and set up a base down here. It didn't actually work out. I lost almost everything and had a real trouble trying to get back down here with no flyers and no raft, because I tried to tame up some Allosauruses on the beach over here that had spawned in. However, some of my raft was exposed and we ended up breaking out of the trap, which was only stone at the time, and there was some of the raft exposed on that apparently, and so they were able to destroy the raft and then come and kill me as well. But over here is a really nice area for a nice base as well. I think I started off on this little island over here. Nothing spawns on this little island here, and so I was able to set up a nice little beachhead, and then I set up a little base over on this island here, which is a very safe area. This is one of the spawn zones, and I was able to tame up a few creatures, a Paraceratherium, Morellatops, some Jerboa. Then when I actually spread out a bit, I came across here to try and find out what was over here, and these islands over here are much more deadly. There's Megalania, Terrorbirds, Microraptors, Sabertooths, all kinds of different stuff over here. And it was a bit of a wake-up call to say just over there was really safe and just over here was absolutely deadly. Again, I ended up dying, ended up back on the north coast, and decided to basically leave everything and set up a base somewhere else. I wasn't high enough to be able to survive down here properly, and I didn't have enough resources to be able to set up a proper outpost down here. But this is one area I would very much like to colonise once we've done some more in the Highlands. I think this would be a really nice kind of summer home retreat over here. And this beach, if you can imagine, if I just come down to the water level here, if I don't go too low, you should be able to get an idea of what it was like coming around here on a raft for the very first time, and coming through this little channel here, and then just seeing this huge expanding open beach around here, which is just so beautiful. And then I tried to sail across it, and there's a leads right underneath the water here. So I had to sail towards the shore pretty quick. But yeah, this, as I say, one of my favourite places on this map. So as we're flying away from the beach there, I thought I'd show you a couple of the bases around this side of the map. So here we have a Muti and Trexie's base here. This is a gigantic base on the top of one of the plateaus here, and they've been doing a huge amount of breeding. So you can see they've got the bear army down there, they've got some of the raid rexes which we're trying to get up for the server, and as soon as we've got the raid rexes up to a decent level we can actually start doing the bosses. We've also got a fair few wyverns as well, and their base is coming on really nice. I like this big wall they've got going around the outside. They've done it in a bit more of a kind of traditional style, but I think they've done, by the looks of it, they've done some obsidian walls, and then this is the bit which they are rebuilding here. So they've got some of the castles, forts and keep stuff in, and then some of it is still the S+ stuff. So yeah, I like this base. It's a little bit framey around here at the moment. Yeah, I really like some of the stuff they've done. So also over here in the south we have Scrad's base here. So I know he's been doing a lot with the red granite keep stuff as well. So we can see his base on this tiny little island here actually. I like the way he's compacted everything in. Looks very, very fortified. Especially with all of these plants around. Huge amount of plants. So I like what he's been able to do with it as well. Can't really see many of his dinos, we're all inside. I know he said that some of these islands around here were infested with the lizards, the Megalanias, and so he had to clear out a fair few of these islands and make them spawn proof to stop all his Megalanias from affecting his base. It's actually really nice and tall, this as well. Kind of the height of it is really impressive. I like it. I think if I were to build out in the desert, I would still want some coastal access here. So I'm right up by the Visqueen on the kind of the corner here of the developed land within the desert. And I think this little bay here with the kind of the Lion King rock there, and this little outcrop on, well, this little flat bit here on this side, I think this would probably be the area that I would build in the desert. All of these areas I'm showing you are for my ideas for PVE bases. I'm only particularly interested in PVE bases. I'm a builder, basically. If you've ever seen my channel before with some of the other series I've done with Raft and Minecraft and stuff like that, you'll know that I'm heavy into the building and the big builds, especially the kind of the mega builds as I call them. And so kind of, I suppose in other games I've called it pushing the games to the limits. In Minecraft we did Bedrock to build limit, and in this I like trying to push the biomes to the limit and make something really quite spectacular with, like, similar to what we've done in the Highlands there. So I would really want to try and push it out here in the desert, doing stuff with the castles and keeps with the red granite, and also with incorporating some of the Adobe stuff into it as well, because I like some of the connected textures within the Adobe foundations and walls and stuff within the actual vanilla game. So yeah, this is one idea for that. I know with PvP it's very different. You need kind of to hide everything and make everything really functional, and it just doesn't appeal to me in the slightest, really. I like to be able to make beautiful things, and it seems to me through watching so many different people playing Ark over the years that you can't really do that on a hardcore PvP server. You just can't make anything look pretty. You need to hide everything and make it look like nobody lives there. You need to not touch the land as much as you can. Or you need to build absolutely gigantic fortified buildings that are made of metal and are impenetrable, and everybody's base ends up looking the same with turrets around them and all sorts. So isn't really something that interests me too much. It'll be interesting to try, but I think I'd get very bored of it very, very quickly, using the same designs over and over again just to be able to survive. Anyway, I'm flying up here to the top of this ridge here. If you saw my video showing you around the desert when it got first released, you would have seen that I said that I would love to build a base up on the top of this here as well. And this is something I would very much like to do as well. If we ever do a map reset, I might actually just fly down here and colonise the top of this mountain here. We wouldn't have easy access to the shoreline, although it is just over there, so we'd have to build a marina somewhere around there as well, kind of separate to the main base. And it would also be fairly difficult to get a lot of the larger land dinosaurs up here as well. So this would be kind of the main castle area, the main kind of big build area, maybe a breeding centre, something like that. And then either down in this bay over here, or in that bay over there, or in that nice little channel over there, then you'd have a marina and kind of land dinosaur storage as well. I haven't fully explored the desert yet though, so I'm sure there are some other beautiful places where you could build. But yeah, there's plenty of metal by the looks of it around here as well. Plenty of trees, which is important. It's one difficult thing about building in the highlands, is there's hardly any wood. Yeah, I like it. So from extreme to extreme, we are now in the murder snow. It is currently minus 52 degrees Celsius outside. And this ice lake here just cries out for some big sprawling base to be put on it. This is an area that I do love, and as soon as I saw this I thought this is just crying out for something to be put on it. It is a very deadly area, and as you can see here we have a nice little outpost here actually that was set up. This is the Quetzal Taming Centre here, because when Quetzals get aggro they fly to 50-50, and this wall here just happens to stop them basically. If they fly in from a certain direction, they will hit against this wall here and stop, and they'll just fly into this wall forever, and you can tame them up nice and easily there. If they actually end up going over the wall, then it's quite nice anyway, because this area over here is, again, if we look at the temperature over here, it's still 53 there, but if we head further towards the Visqueen here, it ends up being 6 degrees Celsius, so above freezing, and they usually end up just flying into a little patch of dirt around here somewhere. And it is fairly quiet over here. You've got a few direwolves to worry about, but they don't usually travel too far over this side, and you've got some Argentabuses that usually get caught up within this little bowl here, so they're not too much of a problem either. So unless the mammoths, as we're doing with that direwolf now, pushes them towards your tame, it's actually quite easy to tame Quetzals up over here when they start hitting into the Visqueen. So that is essentially my pick of the different places on this map, on the Ragnarok map, to build big kind of expansive PVE bases like the type I like to build. There are some beautiful areas around the map. I'm sure that I have missed out hundreds of them. So what I would like you guys to do, is to write down in the comments, give me kind of coordinate locations if you want. But tell me different areas of a map which are kind of picturesque and beautiful and are kind of deserving of a mention within a video like this. Where is nice for a big sprawling PvE style village type base to be built on this map? As I said before, I would love to be able to build in the ice biomes up here. I can do now. I mean, if you look, I'm not feeling the temperature at all with this otter on my shoulders. So it is actually possible now to come up here and start building. So if you'd like to see me do that, again, please write down below, or kind of write what you'd like me to build as well. I'm hoping soon that the Castles, Forts and Keeps mod will add back in the frosty or ice effect, and we'll actually be able to make an ice base or an ice fortress somewhere around here. Not too sure where. Anyway, the fog is rolling in now, so it's going to be almost impossible to see anything on the video now. So I'm going to sign off at this point. I hope you don't mind me doing an episode such as this today, but I am still recovering from that Giga attack. So my days mainly are spent just watching taming meters go up and watching breeding meters go up as well, mating bars and stuff like that. And it really does not make for interesting video. I haven't been able to build anything yet, so we are exactly where we were at the end of the last episode. So yeah, that's me for now. My life is essentially just mating and breeding dinosaurs until we can get some decent ones again. I've had to throw away about 4 or 5 Doedicurus's and 3 or 4 Ankylosaurus's as well so far. And I've finally managed to get a decent breeding pair of Quetzes. So we'll be able to get the Quetz breeding program sorted properly soon as well. Haven't been able to get any decent Allosauruses or anything like that either, so the hunt is still on for them. We'll get there though, don't worry about it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel. And I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.